Welcome to History Sucks, the puppet show that proves fame and history often came with terrible benefits and worse roommates. Tonight, Julius Caesar, general, reformer, writer, calendar fixer, and, unfortunately for him, victim of the most awkwardly organized stabbing party in history.
23 stab wounds. That's not a murder, that's a committee meeting gone very wrong.
You are Gaius Julius Caesar. Born in 100 BC into the Julian clan, a name with history, expectations, and a family tree that doubles as a to-do list.
Basically the kid who gets a participation trophy and also inherits a Senate seat. Lucky duck.
He was ambitious, clever, and political the way some people are online, constantly posting about victories and expecting likes.
Except his followers could actually march on a city. Different algorithm.
Caesar's early life was chaotic. He was once kidnapped by Cilician pirates while sailing in the Aegean Sea. They demanded a ransom of 20 talents.
Which is pirate speak for "we'll take your stuff and your dignity."
Caesar laughed. He said they didn't know his worth and told them to ask for 50 talents. While behind bars he wrote poems, joked with the pirates, and promised to crucify them when free.
That's like being held hostage and ordering room service. Make it expensive and then kill them. Cold.
After his ransom was paid, Caesar raised a fleet, captured the pirates, and had them executed, as he promised. The incident reveals two things: Caesar's confidence and Rome's terrible PR with kidnappers.
Also, never negotiate with a man who writes witty ransom notes.
Caesar's political rise was strategic. He built alliances, married strategically, and learned to present himself as Rome's friend. He formed the first triumvirate with Pompey and Crassus, an unofficial power-sharing deal.
Triumvirate, Latin for three guys who will eventually stop liking each other. Spoiler, one of them dies in a sandstorm or something.
Crassus died in Parthia in 53 BC during a failed campaign, destabilizing the balance. Pompey drifted towards the Senate, and tensions with Caesar grew.
So basically, teamwork until someone gets jealous of the LinkedIn endorsements.
Caesar became governor of Cisalpine Gaul and Illyricum, then invaded Gaul itself. He fought campaigns for almost a decade, wrote the Gallic Wars, and used his commentaries to shape public opinion.
His book was the ancient version of Look at My Trophies with footnotes and fewer hashtags.
He claimed enormous numbers, tens of thousands of enemies killed in single battles, and a campaign that brought Rome massive wealth. Rome's coffers swelled, and Caesar's popularity soared.
And with great popularity comes great, unpaid fan mail. Also senators grilling you for budget overruns.
In Gaul, Caesar campaigned from roughly 58 to 50 BC. He fought the Helvetii, the Belgae, and Vercingetorix of the Arverni. He besieged Alesia in 52 BC, a defining victory.
That's a lot of real estate. Caesar, the original expansionist landlord.
He also used alliances, diplomacy, and sometimes brutality. His successes made him the darling of the people and the nightmare of the Senate.
Imagine your local MP coming back with 3 armies and a souvenir helmet. Awkward at parties.
By 49 BC, the Senate ordered Caesar to lay down his command and return to Rome as a private citizen. If he complied, his enemies could attack him legally. If he refused, he would be an outlaw.
So he made the only reasonable choice: dramatic river crossing. Classic him.
He crossed the Rubicon with his legion and is reported to have said, "Alia iacta est," the die is cast. It was an act of war against the Republic.
Which in modern terms is like announcing your startup is now a hostile takeover and bringing an army of interns.
Civil war followed. Pompey fled to Greece, then to Egypt, where Ptolemaic courtiers murdered him, hoping to appease Caesar. They presented Pompey's severed head to Caesar. He reportedly wept.
2 minutes of crying, then back to conquering. Tears were apparently very catalytic in Roman promotions.
Caesar triumphed and returned to Rome. He was made dictator multiple times, and eventually dictator for life. He passed reforms, reorganizing local governments, founding colonies for veterans, reforming debt, and overhauling the calendar.
He invented the month July, so every July is literally his birthday party.
He instituted the Julian calendar, 365 days plus a leap year every 4 years to approximate the solar year. The calendar reform was one of his most lasting legacies.
Meaning your school timetable indirectly thanks a stab-happy Roman.
He also increased the Senate's size, extended Roman citizenship, and attempted social reforms to stabilize the Republic. Yet many senators viewed these moves as a power grab.
He was giving away perks like seasonal coupons, and everyone assumed it came with a side of tyranny.
While in Egypt, Caesar became involved with Cleopatra VII. She was politically astute, multilingual, and had her own agenda, restoring power to her throne and alliance with Rome. Together they had a son known as Caesarion.
Caesarion, the kid with a name that sounds like a gym membership. Sign up for Caesarion today.
The liaison cemented Egypt's loyalty to Caesar and demonstrated how Roman leaders used personal alliances as political tools. Cleopatra was a shrewd partner, not just a romantic footnote.
Also hear this, Cleopatra once had Caesar smuggled into a palace wrapped in a rug. The stuff of soap operas and very poor interior design choices.
The relationship made enemies in Rome uneasy. Foreign queens cozying up to Roman leaders triggered xenophobia among the aristocracy. Fear of kingship, personal ambition, and ideological devotion to the Republic combined. Senators like Cassius and Brutus believed Caesar's concentration of power threatened Roman liberty.
Which is ironic because their solution involved pooling their liberty into a dagger-sharing circle. Subtle.
They argued, preserve the Republic at all costs. The conspirators recruited men who felt slighted, or who truly believed in an oligarchic Rome.
Imagine a club where the membership perk is stabbing. Hard to get people to sign up.
Timed the attack for March 15, 44 BC, the Ides of March, knowing Caesar would attend the Senate. On the Senate floor, the conspirators crowded Caesar. The first blow was struck by Casca, and others followed. Caesar was stabbed 23 times.
Seriously though, it's like a very violent group hug that no one consented to.
According to tradition, Caesar saw Brutus among the attackers and uttered, "Et Brute," whether in despair or resignation.
Which translates to "you too, bro." The ancient version of bro, come on.
The conspirators believed they would restore the Republic. Instead, they unleashed chaos. Caesar's murder did not stabilize Rome, it escalated civil war and paved the way for imperial rule.
Killing the king to avoid kingship and accidentally inventing emperors. History's worst DIY project.
In the power vacuum, Caesar's adopted heir Octavian and his allies, Mark Antony and Lepidus, formed the Second Triumvirate. They hunted down conspirators and rivals.
Second Triumvirate, like the sequel nobody asked for but everyone watched.
A brutal series of civil wars followed. Mark Antony allied with Cleopatra. Ultimately, Octavian defeated Antony and Cleopatra at Actium in 31 BC and became Augustus, Rome's first emperor.
So the Republic died, as the conspirators feared, just not in the way they intended. Swordplay does not equal institution building.
Caesar's name became a title, Caesar, later Kaiser in German lands, and Tsar in Slavic territories. His reforms, especially the calendar and administrative reorganization, shaped Europe for centuries. The month July is named for him, his face appeared on coins, and his writings remain a classic of military literature.
And Caesar salad gets its name from Caesar Cardini in the 20th century. So shout out to unrelated salad guy for keeping the brand alive.
Julius Caesar reshaped Rome, reformed institutions, and left a mark on world history. His ambition expanded Rome but also concentrated power in ways his opponents could not accept.
He also gave us July, leap years, and dramatic stage directions for future politicians.
In the end, betrayal, fear, and political calculation destroyed him. The republic they tried to save fell anyway, and an empire rose from the chaos.
So yes, it sucked to be Caesar. But it also helped make the modern world in ways people still argue about at dinner parties and in law school.
Thanks for watching History Sucks. We'll see you next episode when we explain why being Cleopatra was equal parts glamour and geopolitical hazard.
And why you should never trust a puppet with a dagger.